if you wanted to see in concert the likes of Brian May, Mike and the Mechanics, Midge Ure, Tom Robinson, the Strawbs, the odds are you're going to have to travel some distance to see that kind of lineup. Or, of course, you could just pop round to your local. The concert at the King's sees these acts and many more performing at the King's Arms at All Cannings near Devizes on Saturday, the 26th of May. The aim of the concert is to actually raise thousands of pounds for charity. So, what would persuade one of the greatest guitarists in the world to head to the Wiltshire countryside? Well, we thought we'd ask him, which we did earlier. It's Brian May.
Hello, Stu. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So, what was it about that phone call you got that persuaded you to come to All Cannings?
Well, a very old and dear friend. Most people call him John Callis, but we call him Grubby for some reason. And he's been our monitor engineer for many years, and, you know, he's a very well-loved friend. And he himself has suffered from cancer and is now, I think, triumphant, so God bless him. And he said, you know, we're getting this concert together for cancer. Do you want to come along? And I said, let me check my diary. And then I said, yep, very happy to come along and jump in.
Well, you're appearing with Kerry Ellis, so what will you actually be doing at the gig?
Well, it'll be a little surprising, I think. Although I've done a few gigs with Kerry, so some people know what to expect. We have a couple of new songs. Yeah, I enjoy performing with Kerry because I like songs, really. You know, I can come along and wheedle away and do lots of guitar riffs, but really what I enjoy is doing songs, and I have a great singer in Kerry. We're doing a great collaboration. So we're going to do a few things together, and I've talked to Grubby, and we're going to do a few items for the finale as well, I think. So I don't want to give it all away, but it looks like being a good all-round thing, I think.
Is there one song, you mentioned it's all about the songs for you, is there one song you always feel you have to perform?
Well, I suppose We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions are the great kind of linchpins of a concert. And if you go away without doing those, people somehow feel disappointed. So I suppose we will probably be considering that. We haven't rehearsed yet, obviously. We will be rehearsing.
And, of course, Kerry Ellis featured in the stage version of We Will Rock You. And that's 10 years now that's been going?
It is, and we have our 10-year anniversary on Monday, which is quite exciting, I must say. So I'll be playing there as well, as a surprise, of course. I think people probably know. Yeah, 10 years, I mean, who would have thought? Who could possibly have imagined that we'd still be packed after 10 years? Absolutely incredible. I think it's 3.5 million people have seen it in that theatre alone.
Well, you've played in front of crowds of hundreds of thousands and 200 million, if you count your rendition of God Save the Queen on top of Buckingham Palace 10 years ago.
3 billion people or whatever,
yeah. Will it feel odd or different in a way playing to such an intimate crowd at the King's Arms?
Yeah, in a way I think a lot of us people who do this kind of thing look forward to something like this because it is very intimate and it's very different and it's very special. You know, in these days of multimedia sort of socialising on the internet or whatever, you know, it's hard to get anything which really is intimate, you know. And I mean, I suppose even there'll be everyone with iPhones and whatever, you know. I used to enjoy it when you could just have an experience with a bunch of people and that was it. It was private and special and no one else could sort of pick it to pieces. To be honest, I enjoy any kind of gig, you know, as long as it's well put together and as long as I can hear myself. So those are the basics, you know.
Well, you've got someone there who knows a bit about monitoring, don't they? So you should be okay.
Well, he does indeed. He's one of the world experts on monitoring, yeah. Probably amazing.
Now, we love astronomy on the afternoon show, and every week we hear from the Wiltshire Astronomical Society.
Do you?
We do, absolutely. We love it. So what got you into astronomy?
I'd have to say Patrick Moore, really, who's now my dear friend, I'm privileged to say. Sir Patrick, I think, inspired just about every astronomer in this country. I never met one who didn't say he wasn't do it by Patrick's amazing enthusiasm. You know, the Sky at Night's been on there for 50 years. 50 years with the same presenter, which is a world record, you know, far away better than anyone else has ever managed.
And of course, I think with you and with Brian Cox, it's like stargazing has never been so popular at the moment.
It is popular. You know, it's strange. You know, I think it used to be sort of on the back shelf along with various specialised kinds of gardening. But astronomy is now very much in the public eye, which is great. I think it's good that we're all interested in the universe we live in. I think it's changing our perception of ourselves as well. You have to wonder, you know, are we the only life in the universe? Are we alone? We just don't know, as Patrick would say. And we still don't know.
On the horizon, I know you have some Queen gigs. Do you still get the same buzz playing those Queen gigs?
Yes, I think probably I do. We had a great run with Paul Rodgers a while ago. And that came out of the blue. It wasn't planned. We didn't go out and look for a singer. It just sort of happened organically. And we had a wonderful run. We did a tour which probably in many ways was just as big and exciting as any Queen tour we did in the old days. It's different. You can't pretend it's the same without Freddie. It never will be. And Freddie's not replaceable. But I think a lot of people like to see us performing and like to see us doing those songs.
Sure, and I'm sure you get asked about Freddie all the time, which must be a bit wearing after a while. But the four of you in Queen was a fascinating mix, all big characters and all creative and all writing as well. Was it a combustible mixture at times?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was. At our best, we were incredibly strong and cohesive, and at our worst, we were pulling each other to bits. Yeah, I mean, it was very incendiary, and particularly in the studio. Not so much on tour. On tour, you know what you're doing, and the aims are very clear. But in the studio, you're defining your directions, and you're bringing forth things which are inside you. And it's kind of a battle if you've got four people trying to paint the same picture with four different brushes.
I suppose it's just like a family, isn't it, really?
Absolutely like a family. And, of course, we lost our family. And in some senses, we're still dealing with that, I think, Roger and I. Because we lost John as well, it has to be said, because he doesn't want to, communicate as far as the artistic side's concerned, which is sad. That's what we got, though. That's the way the cookie crumbled.
Sure. Well, obviously, we're looking forward to seeing you at the King's Arms in All Cannings, and I'm just down the road in Devizes, so if you want to pop in for a cuppa, you're more than welcome, Brian.
Thank you very, very much. Well, I hope we'll give Wiltshire a good little treat. It will do a lot of good for a very, very worthy cause.
Brian May, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, what a lovely guy. Brian May from Queen. I'm thinking, have I got to get my best... Does it sound like he's going to come around my house for a cuppa? It kind of did. It seemed quite keen, didn't it? I don't have best china. I'm going to have to get best china for the gig. The concert itself is at the King's Arms in All Cannings, near Devizes. It's on Saturday, the 26th of May. There is a whole stream of artists, and it kind of goes on all afternoon and into the evening. And it's raising money for cancer charities. So the tickets are £42.50 for adults, £25 for the under 14s, and there is a website if you want further information, which is, obviously all the W's, and then Concert at the Kings, so all one word, concertatthekings.co.uk. What if he takes sugar? It's 7 minutes to 3, BBC Wiltshire, the afternoon show with me, Sue Davis.